Hey traders, welcome to Charts and Coffee for Monday, July 5th. And yeah, while the markets are closed, I'm going to be doing some chart work. And I thought, you know what, let's have a Charts and Coffee on the day that we're celebrating the July 4th holiday. And we have the relative peace and quiet of a closed market to make some decisions about what we want to do in this upcoming shortened week. Remember, typically the week after non-farm payroll is usually a pretty quiet one. It's not one that we're going to see a lot of data events being released. Although heads up, we could see some definite fireworks out of this ongoing OPEC meeting that just won't end because we have a single country that is basically not wanting to agree with the policy shifts of the rest of OPEC plus. And so be aware of some volatility, maybe in crude, potentially rolling over into crude oil stocks as we go into this week. But typically the week after non-farm is a pretty quiet one. So what I'm interested in is what trends were intact, what trends were maybe even reinvigorated after last week's NFP, where the equity markets took another jog higher. So, all right, let's get to it. Good to see you all. You know, it's funny, having been a Forex trader for the better part of 20 plus years, well, you know, for as long as Forex has been available in the US, late 99, early 2000, 4th of July, you know, a lot of the holidays, Thanksgiving, these aren't international, clearly. And so the Forex markets were open. So I would just treat it like another day where by the time we had the European close, my day was done. But I just kind of have the habit of working on days like this, especially when the markets are closed here in the US. Like I said, don't underestimate sort of the relative peace you have to take advantage of and do some homework. And then, you know, it's 9 a.m. here on the East Coast of the US. And the cool thing is I can get some homework done and, you know, go enjoy the rest of the day. So that's typically what I'll do. I spend a few hours here in the morning before everyone else is up and running because got the coffee ready to go. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So let's tackle some questions here. And Denise asks, is Sector Secrets included in the Simpler 4th of July sale? I do not know. I know it was included in the Memorial Day sale. And I think I was mentioning during the Memorial Day sale, I had never seen that deal. I don't believe so, but I'm not sure, Denise. You'd have to check the site. And I'm sorry for not knowing. I know there's a lot of things, but I don't know the masteries are included in this one. But, you know, give the office a call when we're back in. So the office is closed today. I'm just a lunatic working today. But yeah, give the office a call on Tuesday and you know, see what they can do for you. We do have a webinar coming up on the 3rd of August, and that's going to be around I believe the mastery. So I don't know if we're going to have anything special then, but I do know we have a webinar coming up basically a month from today. Yeah. And that's going to be about my options trading. So yeah, so that's coming up before you know it. Thank you for asking though, Denise. Hey there, James. How you doing, my friend? ARK and TAN. Yeah, so ARK. Okay. How much of a pullback is enough, right? That's got to be the first question. This pullback is getting towards that 10-day VWAP. The 8 exponential moving average, which you can see is basically represented via a 3-8 cross and those red propulsion dots. So in the context of a trend, moving averages are helpful. And I'll furthermore sort of make my moving averages prove that they're a higher probability dynamic support in this case, or resistance, by requiring that there is a cross. So a shorter EMA is going to cross the longer EMA, and the longer EMA is what's plotted. That's basically the free propulsion tool. Now, if that's interesting to you all, head on over to countdowntrader.com and you can download those propulsion dot indicators gratis. Okay, so how much of a pullback, right, James? I mean, RK, 8 EMA, you know me, that's usually not enough, or that would be a very aggressive level from which to buy a pullback. As far as TAN goes, TAN's in the same situation. I'd say TAN is in a very similar pullback in terms of coming back to the 8 or the area of the 8. And the VWAP, take a look at TAN though in terms of the volume ledge. That's kind of interesting there. Take a look. I've got a ledge right here, which is accompanying that. We have that on RK. Any ledges? No. So I'm not really looking at a lot of, I mean, there's a little bit of one right here, but that ledge on TAN could be interesting. So if I'm pulling back to a price-based indicator, like the exponential moving averages, I would love, in fact, my process would sort of require, right? Multi-factor. My process would require, hey, we need a price-based confirmation of support, but let's get also a volume-based confirmation of support. So good stuff. Good eye, James. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. So next up, Mark asks, Spot Forex. Sure, Mark. So dollar Canada. So here's the thing with anything with the dollar right now. US dollar continues to be pretty strong. I don't know that I love US dollar buys quite yet. If I am going to buy the dollar, I don't know that I want to do it against the Canadian dollar. So the question, here's a really good way to think about currency trading. It's always pairs trading, whether you're looking at the ETF of a currency, the currency shares, whether you're looking at the futures, you're always looking at a pair. You might say, well, Rog, if I'm trading the Euro FX futures, how is that a pair? It's the Euro US. So it's always going to be a pair. And in the scenario of Forex trading, it always makes sense to think about the driver of the pair's movement up or down. So if I believe that the driver of a US dollar trade, first of all, I've got to sort out the direction. Second of all, I've got to figure out, well, if the US dollar is, say, the strength story, you want as lopsided a relationship as possible. So as long as the equity markets are moving higher, we're probably going to continue to see yen weakness because that's a bit of the carry trade being expressed into the market. I would also take a look at some of the cross rates. I don't think I like a lot of what I see there. So the first question is always, is your prerogative to be long dollars or short dollars, right? Even before you get to what's on the other side of the currency pair, right? So if dollar long is what you're looking for, look for the best contrast, meaning weakest currency against the dollar. And then that's your pair. So I would have to say yen would probably be my preference. But you can see here that we're trying to organize into a trend on the dollar Canada. But notice the double green. And that's why I would say, is your prerogative to short Canadian dollar, buy Canadian dollar? Is it to short US dollar, buy US dollar? And once you've got that sorted out, as far as scalping next week, oh, Mark, I mean, tomorrow, I have no clue, right? We'll have to see what the momentum is. Remember, Canadian dollar could be sensitive to what's happening with OPEC. So keep in mind that. But to talk about the Forex tomorrow, we'll have to see, especially scalping, such a short window. I've got no clue, my friend. But I do want to see what the general gist of the direction is. The other reason I would tell you steer clear of dollar Canada right now is I'm not really, I mean, OPEC is in kind of a turmoil like it was in 13 or 14, 2013, 2014, where the whispering was, oh my gosh, this could be the end of OPEC. That's the kind of whispering that's happening again because they're just butting heads that bad. I don't know how the Canadian dollar, a calm doll, very sensitive to the energy narrative, is going to respond. So be careful there. And then, sort out the strength or weakness story for each side of the pair. So thank you for the question. I love talking about currencies. Fantastic. Am I going to, hey there, MJ, am I going to trade today futures? No, I'm not going to trade anything, MJ. Thank you for the question. No, I'm not going to trade anything today. Today, it's me and probably more coffee than I should consume. Taking a look at the charts. for maybe an hour, 90 minutes before my baby sister who's in town visiting wakes up, and then we're going to go enjoy our day. So no trading today. No trading today. Low participation and far lower after 11. So when we talk about that 11 o'clock Bermuda Triangle and the 11 o'clock drop in volume and the contraction in the volatility, it's going to be even more exaggerated today because it's a bank holiday in the US. So no trading for me, but lots of chart study and then some time with my baby sister. So yes, great reminder. I'm not trading today. Not one bit. Sean asks, Exxon, CV. Yeah, so Sean, I love the focus on these, but kind of like I mentioned to Mark, for those of you that might have been trading actively the energy sector and energy stocks, I believe it was 13 or 14. We had this OPEC turmoil then, and it caused a lot of volatility. So we know that the knock-on effect of crude and RBOB is it could hit clearly heating oil, could even affect natural gas, and it's going to affect potentially oil stocks. So as long as you've built into your trading plan a little bit more volatility, which by the way, I think Exxon is already saying, hey, we've been kind of volatile on pullbacks anyway. So yeah, I'm thinking you're looking between the low and the close of the wave somewhere in here for your opportunity anyway. But if I could get a long play in oil stocks, Exxon, yes, Chevron, no, or sort of your tide around those two huge boats, but you're tied, meaning your sector ETF related to those two stocks. That's XLE. But I like your Exxon choice, Sean. I dig that. Better structure. Volatility, meaning deeper pullbacks into the wave. But it's been resilient. It's been holding. So if I can get a wave pullback, blue grab candles. Let's talk about a recipe here. What are we looking for? Pullback. I'd like to see the candles go blue. I'd love to see a Darvis. And if I can take advantage of that bearish momentum at or below the 34 EMA on the close, I'm game. I kind of like that. Just again, build into your expectation the possibility for more volatility this week because of, again, that OPEC story. Bevan, are grab candles, prop dots, and Darvis available on TradingView? Yes. Yeah. So I'm on TradingView right now. Go to indicators and then search simpler, SIM, PLER, and you'll see that there are 3 simpler trading indicators here without the little lock next to them. And there you go. So you just have to single left click the Darvis grab propulsion. Now, propulsion, I do have multiple propulsions. Grab candles I've always made, and the wave I've always made free. The Darvis that is free on TradingView is not the Darvis that's running on my charts. The Darvis that's running on my charts right now is the upgraded 3.0 signals. So the free version we've made available for 5-6 years, however long it's been. So please know, I'm running the grab candles. I'm running several propulsions, and I'm running the upgraded premium Darvis. But you can use the original, absolutely. And yes, they are available, but I don't want those confused with the premium version that I'm using now that we developed in front of the current class that I've got running right now. All right, so yes, Bevan, you can head on over to TradingView, type in simpler, and you'll see those free tools waiting there for you. What trade tracking software have I found to be most helpful? For options, I prefer Wingman Tracker. And for futures, you could use Wingman Tracker for all. For futures, I've gone back and forth between TradeMetria and TraderSync or TradeSync. I always forget whatever that one's called. I'm leaning towards the latter. TradeMetria is great. I used TradeMetria for the class last year, the Ultimate Day Trade class. And this year, I wanted to try out some more software. And I'm trying TradeSync, and that's what I've used for the current playbook day trading class. So I like futures on one of those two. Trade Metry is good. Trader Sync is very good. Trader Sync is probably kind of cool looking. The interface is pretty cool. They both give excellent information. So just find out which one you sort of like aesthetically and feel comfortable using. They all work the same way. Wingman Tracker, Trade Metry, Trader Sync, they all work the same way, which is to say you download from your platform the Excel trade for whatever period of time you want to upload into the platform. So you take your trade executions from your platform in Excel format, and then you upload them into those. So it's really, really easy to use. And those are the three that I've used. But definitely a Wingman Tracker preference for options, 100%. Any commentary on coffee, on charts and coffee? So coffee is actually sitting at a really interesting level, potentially. It's not a double green currently, but it transitioned out of a double green market, meaning the structure of the exponential moving averages was bullish. The grab candles were dominantly green. A few folks have asked, what are these new yellow candles, Rag, on your chart? Well, these are sitting in the labs right now, Raghee Labs, and we are testing out some different color coding for certain types of candle types that I like, narrow ranging candles. And so that's what the yellow is. I don't know if we're going to end up using some sort of little icon to do that, or just use a little, but playing around with some of that. And we're looking to incorporate that into the grab candle. So the yellow is not part of the grab. It's something we're testing out right now on both Toss and TradingView. Volume ledge, point of control, generally speaking, a path of least resistance to the upside. Transition to chop, preceded by the very nice double green. So my directional bias is still up. So it really is, what support level is it that I can buy? This is looking like a pretty good one, to be quite frank. I would say your zone is going to be between the 34 EMA on the close, and I keep an eye on the 55 exponential. Of course, I have the 55 via the simpler propulsion dot, which is the cross of the 8 and the 55. And you could just put a 55 EMA if you'd like, but I like the 55 prop dots because that means the 8, 55 across. And if you just sort of connect the dots, that's where your 55 EMA would end up plotting across this chart. So that's what I'm looking there on coffee. Great question. Please remember that this is traded on the ICE exchange. It is a pricey exchange feed. Most brokers will require that if you are going to trade a certain commodity, that you also have access to the exchange. Not all, check with your broker, but coffee is on the ICE, and then you'll likely need an ICE feed, of course, to get real-time data, but likely to also execute trades in that market. Next question is, hang on, I just enlarged went to full screen. There we go. Next question is, hey there, Seamus. I've noticed some correlation between Darvis signals and the squeeze firing shortly after. Have I noticed this? So, Seamus, yes. I mean, look, I think that anytime you get a Darvis, you've got the market basically stuck in a range. Anytime you have a market stuck in a range, there's the possibility of a momentum breakout, aka the simpler trading squeeze, John's squeeze indicator. If you have an example of it recently, I run it by me. But I will say that yes, it does. I mean, oftentimes you will see a Darvis kind of front run the squeeze because remember the squeeze is a momentum trigger, and Darvis is more of an exhaustion trigger. And both can happen at the same time. Ideally, though, you are looking at a squeeze that is actually being squeezed. In other words, price action should be range bound. That's why the Darvis and the squeeze, you notice, tend to overlap. And then I'll add a few more things like the certain grab candle colors, certain number of grab candle colors, where I can better confirm that we're in a consolidating market. And then even inside days and narrow ranging days are also going to be just contributing factors to the potential for that breakout. So there's a lot of things you can sort of layer, and that's what you've done there. Darvis and Squeeze, love it. And yes, definitely not your imagination. It does work really nicely, for sure. Do I trade the S&P minis? Joe, yes, I absolutely do. We're doing a class right now on my day trading. And do I trade them overnight? Yes, I'll trade them overnight as well. But I would say we trade a lot of futures contracts. It's just a matter of what your time frame and time horizon is. But yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right, gang. So that is it for Charts and Coffee this morning. Boy, that 20 minutes flies by. As always, thank you for being a part of caffeinating with me each and every morning. We will be right back tomorrow with another episode of Charts and Coffee. Get those questions in early, and I just take them one by one. So thank you as always. Enjoy your day. Don't stay all day in the office, although I'll probably be here for maybe another 30, 40 minutes, and then go enjoy your day. But, the way I look at it, what better day to do a little extra chart work than on Independence Day? Pretty cool. And again, when the markets are closed, there's a nice clarity you get when you're breaking down the charts. So take advantage of that maybe for an hour today. Get some chart work in. Simpler's having an unbelievable sale in a lot of classes. Summer to me, when everyone else is having a wine spritzer by the pool, this is where I like to drop it into high gear and really, really, really prepare for fall. I'll even review old books and my notes and things that I think have worked and not worked the first 6 months of the year. July is a really magical month. You get to say, okay, what's worked the first 6 months of the year, and how can I kick butt the next 6? So I love this time of year. I love the month of July. Course correct. And as far as I'm concerned, when everyone else is on vacation, I'm going to just drop the hammer, wide open throttle, and really start to, I think, gain an edge this time of year. Have a great one. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same station. Be good to each other, gang.